So if there's a valuable lesson to be learned at all here, it can be learned by the New York Yankees. And the main lesson is you can never have enough or too much pitching, right? And this has been obvious with the Yankees over the last couple of years. One of the prime examples of their starters not giving, with the exception of Garrett Cole, not giving much length in the game, so they had to tax or overuse the bullpen, which was a strength, and it eventually became vulnerable because of that, and not having enough guys who were healthy enough or just there to go long relief. So it put the Yankees' rotation in bin, and when the offense doesn't do its part, then it also puts stress on the starting rotation too. So there has to be some kind of balance, right, between pitchers and long relievers and your short relievers. So that's what I want to talk about today. Okay, and how we can make that better this offseason to set them up for the short term and the long term. So before I do that, if you're not subscribed to this channel, like 70% of the people who watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel. So even if you don't plan on watching all the videos, please hit that subscribe button. It's really helpful to its growth, the channel itself. I'm trying to get it out to a broader audience around the world, and it's greatly appreciated as well. But and if you want to know what's going on this offseason with regards to the lockout, the Yankees, or anything else, baseball, hit the bell icon too, so that way you don't miss anything immediate, breaking, valuable, whatever. And please join us on our live streams, Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a lot of fun. So, but let's get back to the details here. So the Yankees have, obviously, Garrett Cole, and then there's a huge gap between Cole and the rest of the guys. I mean, Nestor Cortes pitched admirably for the first half of the season, but it looked like he gassed out in the second half. So, Jameson Taillon was inconsistent. Corey Kluber was hurt, and Kluber's obviously with the Rays now, so that's not a thing anymore. But that said, the Yankees didn't have much depth, and even those guys that were higher-end prospects like Davy Garcia and Clark Schmidt are non-factors right now. So we don't know what the heck to expect from them. Luis Hill got an opportunity. He showed that he's got something there potentially special. So hopefully he gets a chance to get an opportunity to hit the rotation or make the rotation this spring, if he's not included in a trade for a superstar player. So hopefully he's not. Luis Medina's got a potential big arm as well, but with that, the Yankees still have a lack of depth, so they need more starting pitching, right? We mentioned Carlos Rodon. He's pretty much the only guy left in free agency. He's got a high upside. He's got a big arm, but he also is injury prone, so that the risk comes with this, with the signing. So we don't know if that's going to happen, but he would be a legitimate number two to help bridge from Cole to the rest of the guys. So, and guys like Luis Severino, of his 4-year extension, we're going into his final year of his 4-year extension, he's missed over 2 years because of injuries and Tommy John and setbacks and whatnot. So there's no guarantee he's going to make the rotation either. That's why I keep, I am a proponent of him being long relief, just like Nestor Cortes, because having long relief guys can add as a cushion or serve as a cushion between the rotation and the relievers, so the short relievers. And hopefully guys like Steven Ridings get more opportunities, and Clay Holmes, power arms on the right-handed side. They have Joely, they have Wandy. But there's a good chance, too, that they're not going to see Britton at all this year. And after this year, probably Britton and Chapman are probably going to be gone. So this would be a time to get a reliever, maybe an Andrew Chafin. I mentioned him in free agency. And I mentioned Aaron Bummer in the trade, potentially with the White Sox. I mean, it's going to cost a little bit of probably a hefty package, but he's under control for 5 more seasons on a very affordable contract. So he's not a free agent until 2027. So he's a guy that you bring in here to set yourself up for the long term. And the Yankees have $100 million coming off their payroll over the next 4 to 5 seasons. So it's a wise idea to bring in guys right now when you can. And then you let the young kids develop. Ken Waldichuk's an attractive pitching option. Hopefully Gil and Luis Medina get opportunities. And hopefully Hill and Medina. And the other guys get opportunities too with some other young developing pitchers. And but we'll see. But they still need to bring in guys. By bringing in relievers, it obviously helps the relievers. But by bringing in more reliable starters who can throw innings, even if they trade for Chris Bassett or Frankie Montes, it also helps the relievers. So it's a trifecta here. And they complement each other. The offense complements the rotation, or just the pitching, and the pitching complements the offense. But bullpen complements rotation and vice versa, and long relief. And I'm of the opinion that the Yankees should have a couple of long relievers, and they do right now, which allows them also to maybe transition into Johnny Lasagna maybe being the closer at some point after this year. He could be the guy that takes over for Chapman. So, young, controllable pitcher too. So there's a lot of options here, and there's a lot of talent, but they still need to add a starter and a reliever, at least one of each. I've said 2 starters for months now, and I still share that opinion. So if they do, that would be a really good thing, because they're constantly having issues in the rotation every year with injuries. So it would be a good idea if they did that. But 1 or 2 relievers would be a smart idea too. So you got power, and craftiness from the left and the right side to complement each other. And again, having at least 2 guys, potentially 3, that can throw long relief. I would take 3 innings of Severino darts any day of the week, and if you can do that with some kind of regularity, that would be a huge weapon, an absolutely monster weapon. Okay, same goes with Nestor Cortes if he doesn't make the rotation. Like, there's value here, and I think Matt Blake can, identify these things and continue to develop these guys and continue to help them improve. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. You guys let me know what you think. Who should they bring in? Who should they trade for with what's left of the market? And again, are there? I know this talk about Josh Hader, but there's no way the Yankees are going to get him for Luke Voit. Let's think on planet Earth here. That's not happening. So it's going to cost more than Luke Voit to get Josh Hader. And I mentioned Ashby, a good pitching prospect, but it'll also cost more than Voit to get him. But those are the types of guys you make trades for. Okay, you use some of the prospect capital that we have, and to help the Brewers. And the Brewers want to get a little bit more pop offensively. Well, Voit gives them the opportunity to do that. So, and adding him with Hunter Renfroe and like some other guys they've acquired and signed, it's going to help them. And if we can get a top pitching prospect in return, why not? Okay, but we need to boost the pitching arsenal one way or another, but particularly in the bullpen and the starting rotation. You guys let me know what you think. Let's get into it.